for Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by Talking Rocks Cavern. Explore the beauty above and below ground at Talking Rocks Cavern. The Springfield Greene County Park Board reminding you to go play, and Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Well, good morning to you. Good to be with you again. We are 1 week away from Christmas now, which is nuts. I'm happy to be back in Missouri, where I belong. I'll tell you about my trip where I was last week coming up in just a little bit, but and a highlight of our weekend, I think, as a family. We'll tell you about that coming up. But first, we'll do some news.
Every time you say Missouri, I feel like you're about to announce some sort of like political run, and it's funny because people ask me. I've had now 2 people ask me from the general public, people I do not know, does Ethan actually call it Missouri? I'm like, he's interviewed a politician or 2 in his day. I don't know. But anyway, now he just thinks it's hilarious.
Sometimes I do, just for fun.
All right, here is a look at the news. The car of a man that has been missing for a decade was just found in Camden County. Apparently, a man was flying a drone and spotted a car in a small lake. Police were contacted and found the car. The missing man was Donnie Irwin, who disappeared in December of 2013 at the age of 59. He has not been seen since. Police there are now searching that area for Mr. Irwin's remains.
Wow.
The developers behind a plan to build an apartment building with shops and restaurants in the corner of Sunshine and National just went back to the drawing board. What they came up with was just rejected by Springfield Planning and Zoning Commission. The latest plan was for a food hall with indoor and outdoor pickleball courts. The developers are currently being sued by the residents of the University Heights neighborhood, some of them who don't want the original plan of the apartment building with retail and restaurant space on the lower level. So that saga continues. It looks like the developers are going to keep on keeping on perhaps until there's something that works.
Obviously they've gone back to the drawing board a couple of times and tried to make some amendments to their design and their plan, because they got a lot invested. They bought a lot of property there, and they need to develop something. That's their vantage point. Neighbors are concerned about not in my backyard and too much traffic in that area. That would, they say, take away from what is a great neighborhood feel at University Heights. So
it is a very established neighborhood. That's the truth. But I don't know if something is going there. It looks like it is, but the question is what? So back to the drawing board they go.
I guess so. And meanwhile, that court case about the original design continues. So that still could happen. We'll be watching it. It's like something new every month or so at this point, sometimes sooner. Then there's this. You don't hear much about it these days, but the war in Ukraine rages on. Springfield-based Convoy of Hope has been working to help evacuees in different countries now and delivering relief supplies to Ukrainians still in the country of Ukraine on a regular basis, several times a week since the war started nearly 2 years ago. In February, it'll be 2 years, which is nuts. Just recently, one of our partner groups was loaded up with supplies, taking them to survivors inside Ukraine when they were hit by a Russian drone. And there's incredible dash cam video of this happening that we have now. If you'd like to see it, you can go to Convoy of Hope's Facebook page, Instagram page, see it on X. Just look up Convoy of Hope. You can see that video as it happens. It's just unbelievable. And maybe the most miraculous part about this whole story is that the van was destroyed. 2 people inside it were fine. They were unhurt.
It looks crazy because the van, which looks like a very thick metal, heavy duty van, it looks in the video like there's just shrapnel, and yet the people are unharmed. I mean, it's truly, I think it's what I would call like a bona fide miracle, because that's crazy once you see the video.
I agree, because think about how difficult it is to destroy a van, and then how easy it is to destroy a human
flesh.
with flesh. Everything can fly through flesh, yet it didn't. These two people were okay, and on top of that, all of the product that they were delivering was unharmed, unhurt. So they were able to still get that product 2 people inside Ukraine. It's an amazing story. So I would suggest you take a look at it on Convoy of Hope's Facebook, Instagram, or X pages. You got to see it for yourself.
Yeah, truly.
Then there's this closer to home. A protest is planned for tomorrow night, right before the Springfield Public Schools board meeting. The protest is being organized by the Springfield National Education Association. The subject of that protest is teachers and some others. They're protesting student behavior in schools and concerns over what they say is a lack of discipline. The SPS Superintendent Granita Latham created a new student discipline plan in the spring, you may recall, but some teachers are now arguing that the district isn't enforcing it to their liking. So there will be a protest tomorrow, and no doubt more to come on that story.
Yep, much more, I'm sure. They're not glamorous, but they are necessary. And college campuses, it seems like, often lack parking, and that is not going to be the case anymore at Ozarks Technical Community College. They are improving and expanding parking lots at the Springfield location, the Springfield campus off Chestnut Expressway. That school's spending $2.2 million on the project. This is what we're learning. They will demolish 5 empty houses on Pythian Street and Hampton Avenue. Work will start on the new parking lot in the next several weeks. Should be ready to go by August of 2024 for that semester of school.
All right, this college students rejoice.
That's right. I remember. I mean, parking was an issue at my university.
Yeah, right.
A million
it's always
years
an
ago,
issue.
and but also Springfield is much more. Their student population at OTC certainly is much more transient. I would park my car and not get in my car for like a month at a time. So because I walked everywhere, even to work. So. Yes, they need parking because they are coming and going always at OTC. Okay, now to this. This is an El Nino year for the U.S. The experts just updated their predictions, saying this would be a historically strong El Nino winter for the U.S. Not so much, though, in Southwest Missouri. So not too shabby here, I guess. For us, they say that it looks like precipitation should be about the same as a normal winter. Nothing more than normal, but our temperatures could be warmer than normal winters. And I would say we are at December 18th.
Yep.
And it's been pretty nice. I think yesterday on my way home from church, my little thermometer in the van was at 60 degrees. So that was crazy.
I don't think that's accurate, but I get the point.
I know, because the van one does run a little warm, I think, but it was very, very pleasant. Anyway, so we'll see how it plays out. But for those who may not know, El Nino is Spanish for the Nino.
The Nino. Yeah, I think everybody knows that. It's Spanish for the Nino.
Ethan wrote that and thought it was hilarious.
And you pulled Elisa Rose. Did you pull Elisa Rose and just see it?
Yeah. What's funny is I did pull Elisa Rose, which if you know, bomb in the bathroom. If not, look it up. Just look it up. Do yourself a favor. You'll laugh for weeks.
I did.
But what's funny is I actually did read the first 2 sentences of that story and I'm like, I already know this. And so but I didn't read the last one. Nice. Well played. All right. Moving on.
You're welcome. Well, Kansas City Chiefs got back on the win column over the weekend, but the game against New England Patriots did little, I think, to comfort fans worried about the Chiefs' play this late in the season. The Chiefs won 27-17 against the struggling Patriots, who are now 3-11 on the season. So the blowout didn't happen like it could have, maybe should have. The Chiefs' record is now 9-5 on the year. Meanwhile, Coach Andy Reid was fined $100,000, and quarterback Patrick Mahomes fined $50,000 for publicly criticizing the officiating following last week's loss to the Buffalo Bills. They couldn't hide from that. It was pretty vocal.
Yeah, it was pretty vocal. But it's interesting that, the NFL has to protect the integrity of the organization. So I guess that's what happens. But I was a little surprised, to be honest with you, only because, freedom of speech is a thing. So I was like, well, that's interesting.
Well, I was surprised that Reid got fined double what Mahomes got fined, because Mahomes was going off.
Right.
Off.
But Reid is the leader. I think that
yes,
it's the integrity of the organization to say, Patrick Mahomes is subject to his leadership. And so the leadership is going to take the bigger brunt of that because they're the leader and leaders lead. And
Well,
here you are.
yeah, that's clearly what happened. And
Because
$100,000
see,
hurts.
here's the thing is Andy Reid could have nipped it with Patrick. He could have.
I don't know. Not in that moment. Patrick was fit to be tied. But
not in the moment, but I'm talking the days following.
Well, the days following, he apologized. He said he shouldn't have done it. It was in the moment that he was out of control.
Yeah.
But it sends a message to Reid because $100,000 for him hurts a lot more than 50 or 100 for Patrick. They make much different dollar amounts.
Yeah.
But not that Reid's struggling.
Right.
He's done well.
I know. Okay. I always wonder when organizations or people, who are, millionaires, when they get fined, do they feel that? Have you ever wondered that? You know what I'm saying? Or like whenever a really wealthy person like gives to, I don't know, charity or something, like, do they feel like, I always want, like, do they feel that? I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Well,
maybe someday we'll know, babe. Maybe someday our ship is coming in and we're going to know what it feels like.
It's different for different people. Everybody makes the different amounts. So the amount that you give can hurt you or not hurt you, but can affect your lifestyle or not.
Right.
It all depends.
The widow's mite, man. She felt it. But we're still reading about her 2,000 years later. It's amazing. Okay, guys. What
are you doing?
Going on?
It's me. I'm doing the story. Right?
No, it's me. Anyway, Mayim Bialik. I hope I said her name right. Ethan knows there's Blossom. She is out. Bialik. She is out now as Jeopardy host. She had been sharing that role with former champion Ken Jennings since last year, following the death of longtime host Alex Trebek. Bialik. Did I say it right?
Bialik, yeah.
Blossom. Just call her Blossom. That's who she is. She says the owners of the show have informed her that she has been relieved of her duties. In her Instagram post announcing the news, she pointed out how honored she was to have been nominated for an Emmy Award for hosting this year.
That was a shot at Sony, who I think owns the show. And she was saying, basically, so I get nominated for an Emmy as best host and you get rid of me?
Hey, television is a subjective business.
I know it is.
So they don't care if you've been nominated for an Emmy or not.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, because you can be very good at your job, get nominated or even win an Emmy, but still not be well received by the audience.
True.
Both of those things can be true. So
that is true. Okay. I know many of you were really wondering last week where Ethan was because the show is not nearly.
I'm pretty sure only I was wondering where Ethan was. They were fine, but I was like, folks, I don't know when he's coming back.
Well, you knew when I was coming back. I went to Las Vegas to see U2 in concert at the Sphere, which is the most advanced, most incredible venue in all the world. It cost $2.3 billion to build this thing. It's just a giant globe just off the strip. So it's a big circle. Outside is the world's largest LED screen, 1.2 million external LED lights. And inside, as you look at the stage down on the front, behind the stage is a screen that goes all the way up around you, like an IMAX, but bigger. And then behind you, because we were standing down right in front of the stage, which was a really cool place to be. Behind you was like a straight up balcony of 20,000 people. It was unbelievable. If you just look up U2 at the Sphere, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's mind-boggling how they did it. There are 167,000 speakers in there that beam audio to each seat. So
like they did each individual seat.
They do. They
wild.
do, and they did a demonstration out in the lobby that we had to pay to go see, but we did it. And you stand in one place and you hear somebody speak in Mandarin Chinese. You take 5 steps over and you hear it in English, but you can't hear when you're over the Chinese place. You can't hear the English one. And when you take another 5 steps, it's Spanish, and then it's Ukrainian, or it's just nuts. And they did the same thing with a song, where they just chose a song, and in one area you would hear highlighted. You could hear the rest of the music, but really you could hear the saxophone. And then you walk over and you could really hear the piano. I think I'll probably post some video that I shot of that on my Facebook page if anybody wants to go and look. I haven't done it yet, so I'll do that maybe tomorrow or later today. One of the two. It depends on how much work I have to do, which should be a lot because I've been gone. But it's really phenomenal. So it is the coolest entertainment venue in the world. I had a buddy at work say he's a big U2 fan, and I'm a U2 fan, but I'm not a big U2 fan. I don't know all the songs, but I was like, he said, I got a ticket to go see 2 tickets to go see U2. My wife doesn't want to go. I think he's dragged her to too many U2 shows over the years. And he said, "You want to go?" And I said, "You know what? I do want to go. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do
Well,
want to
and
go."
you
Because
lived in Las Vegas. You went
yeah,
to UNLV. You have a
right.
connection to the area.
Yeah. I
I
went
was
over to
just nervous
UNLV.
because of the venue, the size of the venue, sold out crowd. U2, I mean, that's like a world known band. And I was a little nervous, which I'm typically not. So that's why I was nervous that I was nervous. I'm like, why am I nervous? And then what I meant is I did know when you were coming home, but then your flight got delayed. So then he missed his connection. It was the whole thing. I've already told the good people of the Ozarks because you were supposed to be on the show with me on Friday and you weren't. So that's what happened.
Yeah, I got back. We missed the connection in Dallas. So, and the next connection wasn't until the next morning. So we just rented a car and drove from Dallas to Springfield, got home at 6 a.m. So just missed the podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of getting home at 6 a.m. and missing the podcast, on his way home from Dallas, he totally, like kind of usurped our date by going on his own individual date to Buc-ee's. And he went in Texas. See, this is what happened. Last week, I was like, hey, I think I'm going to Buc-ee's and I'm going to take the kids and I'm going to have a party. And Ethan's like, don't go. We'll go on a date. It's going to be great.
I said, don't go without me. We'll all go.
Don't go without me, my love, my bride. And then he gets home on whatever morning. And I'm like, hey, babe, when you get off work today, let's go to Buc-ee's. And he's like, there's something I got to tell you. I accidentally went to Buc-ee's while I was driving home from Dallas. I was like, what in the world? You told me to wait for you. So I waited for you and you went. And he was like, I did. But in my defense, we had to stop. And there happened to be a Buc-ee's in that place. And so he did it.
Well, what's crazy is that we were supposed to go to Buc-ee's together as a family on Friday or Saturday. And literally the night before, we're driving at midnight and we hadn't eaten since noon. So we're starving and we got a long drive. So we're going to eat and everything was closed. So we literally drove by a Buc-ee's and he's like, well, I guess we can go here. And I said, oh man, I'm hungry. Let's go get a brisket sandwich. So that's what we did. So sorry about that. I
listen, I'm
beat
over
you to it.
I forgive you. I'm over it. I don't care.
Yeah, clearly.
Because we still got to go on our date. I also had the brisket sandwich. It was amazing. I had the potato chips. They were amazing. I had a Dr. Pepper and I don't really drink pop. So
soda.
It was not amazing. But I mean, if you love Dr. Pepper, if you drink pop, maybe you think it's the greatest. But I actually thought it was weak Dr. Pepper because I was like, oh, I haven't had a pop in so long. This is going to be amazing. And then it didn't burn on the way down. Like, I was like, nope, not the Dr. Pepper I remember. So,
well, I know people have been waiting for me to go to Buc-ee's because I talk so much about Wally's, which is up in St. Louis. Fantastic convenience store. Same idea, same type thing. So now I can compare Buc-ee's to Wally's. And here are my comparisons. The brisket sandwich and the barbecue at Buc-ee's is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. They cook it right there. You see them cutting it up, chopping it. It was a delight. I had that 2 days in a row. The gas pumps in Springfield, there were 120 of them, and it was cheap gas. I don't know if that will continue, but it was very reasonable gas. I hope it continues because, it will make people drive out there and get gas. Those are the two things that Buc-ee's has over Wally's.
And they have cute Christmas decorations.
But here, yeah.
I wasn't buying any because I'm not given to buying decor. However, if I was in the market for cute Christmas decorations, like if you are, I would say you should check it out because it was very cute.
But I don't, in my opinion, not a truck stop, a highway stop.
No,
Is not
think
the
Cracker
place.
Barrel. Think Cracker Barrel, everybody.
Right. That's not the place for home decor, in my opinion. I'm not
No,
buying
you
stuff
can get
from
some
there.
cute things there.
But that shouldn't be
Anyway.
there. It shouldn't be there. Here's. Let me tell you what I like about Wally's in the time I have remaining. Wally's has pizza. Buc-ee's did not have pizza, which was a shock to me. Because why would you not have pizza? It's. I mean, regular gas stations have pizza. You can make pizza. People love pizza. So I was shocked that they didn't have pizza. Wally's has good pizza. Wally's also has their own ice cream. They make their own ice cream. And at least 2 of the 3 kids in our family said the best ice cream they ever had was at Wally's in St. Louis. It was gooey butter cake ice cream. And it was really, really fantastic. So they didn't make their own ice cream. Wally's also makes their own popcorn right there in front of you, like movie theater popcorn. And they have different flavors of it. You can mix and match. It's a delight. It smells fantastic when you walk in. I also like that Wally's is a fun store. The color scheme between the two is night and day. The Wally's color scheme is 1,000,000 times better than beige.
I feel like you're doubling
Buc-ee's.
down against Buc-ee's, and I don't appreciate it.
No, I like
is now
Buc-ee's.
local. Buc-ee's
I
is
just-
now local, sir.
It's
I feel
not
like you're
local.
stepping on the toes of local business. Yes, you are.
No,
Yes,
I'm
they
not.
are.
I'm
Yes.
not.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
being honest.
And-
out of the 2 of us, I'm being honest.
And to be honest with you, good folks at the Ozarks, I felt like he had a little bit of chip on his shoulder. I was like brushing off his shoulders the whole time we were there.
Well,
And
I did go
they
in.
had a blown up beaver with buck teeth. It's the cutest blown up beaver I've ever seen. We took pictures in front of it. It was lovely. The kids had a blast. And the place was insanely packed. Like it felt like a destination. I felt like
Buc-ee's
it delivered.
Buc-ee's did not have bubbly.
That's
I can't
true.
explain
And right.
I can't explain that. So I'm not saying Buc-ee's is bad. I enjoy Buc-ee's. I'll go back to Buc-ee's. But here's what I want you to do. When you're in the St. Louis area, it's in Fenton, just outside St. Louis on 44. You drive right past it, where that White Castle is. The same exit. It's the best exit in the state.
And Ethan is a native St. Lucian.
You go to Wally's and just give it a shot. They have a bakery. They have jerky. They have drinks. They have all the stuff. And it's a little more road trip friendly. They've got funny stuff like bumper stickers that are funny and things like that. So anyway, there you go. I do like Buc-ee's. But
I've also been to both. I prefer Buc-ee's. End of story. All right. Let us know what you think.
We ran into a priest while we were there who was wearing a Wally's hat, and he heard us.
It was actually the highlight of my trip. I was like, excuse me, sir, are you a priest? Ethan looks at me
what gave it away?
Are
The
you
collar?
ignorant? What gave it away? But I've never talked to a priest, and he was lovely. He was lovely.
And he was a Wally's guy.
He said of his friend, he was like, I'm with my friend, and I'm trying to figure out if my friend loves Jesus or loves Buc-ee's more. And I think it might be Buc-ee's because she was like, had her like pom-poms out. She was ready. She had a cart at a gas station. Cart. I gotta give it to her. She's a super fan, and I appreciate a fan. I don't even care if we root for the same team. I appreciate a fan. I need some people with passion in my life. So
I enjoyed his Wally's hat. I should have had a Wally's something on or other on.
The priest.
It was fun. We had a good time. We're happy to have Buc-ee's here for sure.
Had on a Wally's hat. It was pretty great. I wonder if that guy's watching us. I don't know.
No, he's from out of town.
Oh wait, no, he's from out of town. That's right. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, thanks if you're still with us, you are a saint, as it turns out.
Hey, they've missed me. We're on for 24 minutes now.
Nobody missed you.
I did. Me.
I certainly did.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Have a great day. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Until tomorrow. Bye.